Book your driving lesson now
at dla-driving.co.uk.
Sponsored by DLA Driving Schools.
Hello and welcome to Oh When the Town. Everyone likes the magic of the FA Cup, don't they? Well, for the casual supporter it might well have been magic, but for Luton fans it could have been the tragic exit of the FA Cup for me. A 7-goal thriller for the TV viewers, but that brought back memories of the capitulation we had at Bournemouth for me. In the Premier League. In the end, we did just about enough to beat Robbie Savage's Forest Green, and our reward for that is an away tie at Fleetwood Town. Weekend in Blackpool. We're going to speak about the game as usual, and that's 3 wins in a row for us, and we ask you, has your confidence been boosted with our new management team in place? We'll see what you said about that. We have our 3 red reviews, and as usual, a little bit more. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see that we're 1 down tonight. Darren is in Dubai, doing whatever he does in Dubai, and I've got Steve and Bataro with us. Hello, you lads.
Hello, mate. You right?
Good afternoon.
So is that Darren that sits there, is it?
Yeah.
So we don't actually know who he is, do we?
Well, I could have said I took his booster seat away and now you can't see him, but I didn't do that. FA Cup, I used to get really, really happy and really think that we could literally win the FA Cup. I don't think that anymore. No. I don't like starting in round 1. It's been a while since we've done that. How do you feel about the game, the cup, the draw?
The draw, really, apart from Bristol Rovers and a potential reuniting with Tom Lockyer, there wasn't any draw, without being disrespectful, there wasn't any draw that was going to get the juices flowing. It
would have been good seeing Tom play again, wouldn't it?
Yeah, maybe in the next round.
Well, let's hope, as long as we're at home.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Taro, I'm assuming that you were quite happy at the end of it all?
Yeah, more relief I'd say than anything. I wouldn't say it was happiness, it was just thank Christ we got through. Bit of extra cash, I suppose, as well. But look, it is what it is. It's an FA Cup game. I don't really look at it.
There was plenty of teams that did go out at the weekend. Teams from lower. So
and this is it.
We didn't want to be the first, though, Steve, did we? Because it was sort of advertised as Savage versus Wilshere. It was advertised as former Premier League. Every time we play on the television right now, this team was in the Premier League 2 years ago. Well, this team wasn't. The club was, but this team wasn't.
Exactly. And even more annoying is whenever Luton are on telly or they're being spoken about, suddenly we're talking about Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd imagine that Jack Wilshere is very quickly going to become bored of that, because he's made it very clear there's Jack Wilshere the player, that's gone, now it's Jack Wilshere the Luton manager. So I just find it boring. It's just lazy journalism.
Robbie Savage was very animated on the touchline.
He's an idiot.
I know, let's keep it polite, but he might be an idiot, but I mean, it's nice to see a manager that's animated sometimes and shows a bit of passion, don't you agree?
Right, okay, look. Firstly, there's animation, right? There's being animated and there's just being an attention seeker. And in my opinion, he was attention seeking. He was making it all about him. Even the commentary thing that I saw after the game. So I watched the replay back of the game after, just like certain bits. And they were criticising him, saying he's just attention seeking, it's all about him. And it should be about his players. Because I think it was more like the media were looking at him than anything. It's just infuriating.
Again, I think the cameras and everything, it was always going on to the two managers. Whether you love him or hate him, okay, you can't deny how passionate he is about his cause. You can't deny that. And what he said in one of the interviews afterwards was, he's not massively technical as a manager. He's got coaches to do that. He's like a people person and like a motivator and stuff like that. And he obviously done something right at half time, because Forest Green came out a totally different side in the second half and just played balls out football.
And
so
we were terrible, weren't we?
So I would say fair play to him. I mean, I actually don't like the guy because he's a wind-up merchant. But is it so different from Danny Hilton? If Danny Hilton was on our side, we loved him. Every other team hated
Yeah,
him.
to be fair, I
So-
just grew up disliking him, to be fair. So it's already stuck with me. So.
It's just a variation of a theme, mate.
I've never really sort of warmed to Robbie Savage. I think because when he's on the radio, on the TV, when he's on the 5 Live or whatever it was, he's there to create that conflict, really, and he's there goading things. So his radio show works.
He's a second-rate Adrian Durham.
Well, that takes some doing, doesn't it?
It does.
And I was thinking there was one moment where I think I don't know if Forest Green had equalised or whether it was the 3-2 where he turned to people behind him and then said, "You're basically crapping yourself now, aren't you?" I just think there's no need for that. But you know what? In the end...
To be fair, I do rate that though, to be fair. That was the only thing. But it was just the other stuff with it.
So you rate that, but not the other stuff?
No, it was just...
That's
crazy.
crazy.
It was just a whole attention seeking. You could tell he was looking for it as well. It was just things like... But whatever, I'm not getting that much attention.
Because Nathan Jones, when Charlton got promoted, it was right towards the end of the game, and you could see him looking around, are the cameras on me, when he went down on his knees and started sort of praying up to the gods.
See.
You know, it's these Welsh managers, mate.
Yeah, there you go. It's got to be.
Well, let's look at the game in more detail in a moment. But we'll have your 3-word reviews first from Luton Town 4, Forest Green 3. Chris said, incredibly strange game. Rich, in the hat. Rich, we're out of the hat now. We've told you we've got Fleetwood. Morris, very, very lucky. Max, painful second half. Adrian, great character shown. Sarah, work to do. Shane, Wells, performance encouraging. Dom, defence needs sorting. Fiona, Lamine scores again. And Andy, good for the neutral. Do you know what, Andy? You're probably right.
Yeah.
Do you want to pick one each, guys?
Go on, mate.
Good for the neutral, that's all I can say, really. Like I said, I don't look at FA Cup games in too much detail, but look, if you were sitting at home and you were watching it on your Friday night, doing absolutely nothing, misses out or whatever, you don't support either team, you would have loved that. Because even I quite enjoyed it. I wasn't stressed. Just enjoying the magic of the cup, as you say, Dave.
Do you know what? I don't see the magic of the cup much.
No.
I don't. And at this round, it's not magical.
No,
it's a slog for a team that should get through.
Yeah, and it was a half-empty stadium, wasn't it?
Yeah, half-empty stadium.
It was poor.
The club did well with the prices and everything else.
Yeah.
But, there will be people that will go, "Oh, it's on the telly, I'll stay at home." I don't blame them for that. And like you say, it wasn't really one that really sort of grabbed your attention, was it? And when you look back now, you think, "Oh, it would have been good to have been there if you didn't go."
Yeah.
Steve, do you pick one?
Well, very quickly, two. So Shane,
two. Okay, go for
Shane
it.
Wells' performance encouraging. Because we're all really hopeful. Now we've got the new manager, the new coaches. We're really hopeful that things start to progress. I thought he set up Fane really well. I thought that was good. And the other thing that I really liked from him, it was a shot that was wide in the end, but he scored 2 goals and he was going for a hat-trick. It was quite a long way out on the angle, but it went just over. I like to see him having a pop from a place like that. So clutching at straws, that was good. But Lamine scores again. I think Wilshere said that potentially he could be, like a Frank Lampard sort of type midfielder. And I know he's got into positions once or twice before, but he scored against Northampton. He scored again, and they were both where he was attacking the penalty area, and he was there at the right time. And I mean, that was a lovely finish Friday night.
Oh, it was
lovely
look,
finish.
he slipped as well, didn't he? As well, I still managed to correct it in the top corner. But no, look, the thing is with Fane, it's a strange one because he was actually brought in as like a sort of almost like a holding midfielder. Like goes from obviously like a defensive position and gains yards up the pitch and whatever else. But now he's like almost playing like I'd say like a more advanced number 8 / number 10, isn't he?
Yeah.
Which is, well, fair play. He's obviously he's got it in his locker, isn't he? But
He just seems to be timing his runs well and finding space. And if he has got that bit of quality that everyone has said, and we're starting to see 1 or 2 signs. I mean, we've said before we could have a really decent player there.
We've been missing that sort of quality player, haven't we? I was thinking about it earlier. When we signed Ross Barkley, you're thinking, bloody hell, he's probably one of the best players we've ever seen in a Luton shirt.
Yeah.
And we've sort of missed that sort of player. I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Ross Barkley, but if he becomes a better player, do we have an absolute gem in our team with Lamine?
hopefully. I mean, he's still a young boy, really, isn't he? But the main thing is, he's starting to show, obviously, he can score a couple of goals here and there, but we need goals from midfield, which we haven't really had the last few seasons. And if he can, keep his performances up like the last few games or whatever else, then he's getting a couple of goals in League One, then who knows?
It's important to be able to get goals from all around the team.
Yeah.
So that is really needed. Who knows? Ross Barkley was dominant for us, and he was at times dominating midfield of Arsenal, Man City, and things like that. It was an absolute privilege to have had him for that season, and I think we knew, we need to really enjoy this while we've got him. Fane could, to a certain degree, it'd be great if he can start to sort of, try to sort of pull the strings and try and control the midfield. That'd be great, but I think that's a few steps away yet. He's still really finding himself, to be honest with you. That might be another season away before he's
just
doing
want him
that.
to become more important for the team.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all we're looking at.
Yeah.
And he's got a chance, obviously, at this level as well in League One, because he was brought in obviously for a Championship promotion pushing team, which obviously miserably failed. But look, if he can prove it at League One, then he has to prove it at League One. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
In order to keep his career going at Luton and progress.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a no-go.
I generally think we'll get a chance to get moving up the table. But this is about the FA Cup, so let's talk about the FA Cup. 2 changes from Northampton. Jones and Walsh come in. And sort of started brightly, got a quick corner, nothing come of it. Mm-hmm. Then I think Forest Green had a chance, didn't they? But didn't go anywhere near. And then, how 23 minutes in. So the game, I thought we was in control to start with. Would you agree?
Yeah, but it wasn't much, was it?
Wasn't much. But then a little bit of class, Steve, with the move to get Fanny to score.
Yeah, it was.
Don't look at me like that's his name.
You had to say it like that.
Yeah. No, it was. I think there was a good tackle and it broke. And Wells sort of advanced through the midfield line, took a touch, and he sort of just pulled it in nicely. And it's first time shot,
Good move.
Far left of the goal.
Yeah,
as we're looking at it, 1-0, and you're thinking, right, let's get on with this. Let's put it to bed real quick if we can. We got.
Sorry, I just want to say quickly. There's been a couple of occasions, sort of over the last sort of 2 or 3 games, where Wells and Fane have sort of linked up. And a team does well when there are these little sort of 2s and 3s within the team that are sort of on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
And if we can sort of develop 2 or 3 of those little pockets of 2 or 3 players, then again it just enhances the performance.
And when you're playing a team that is the underdog, you expect them to be up front and just going for it.
Yeah.
And then 7 minutes after we scored, Wells gets a goal. Again, if you want to chat about that, was that, I can't remember which one that was.
It's the free kick.
The free kick and follow up. So first off, can you blame their goalkeeper? I don't know what was he doing.
Look, the thing is, right, I think on the commentary they said that the keeper's made a real howl of this and that. It was which he did, and it wasn't a great free kick. Firstly, I would like to say it was actually a good free kick, but the keeper has to push that away somewhere else. Keeper has cocked up, yes. But it weren't a bad free kick.
Was it the keeper's debut, I think?
Yes, yes, yeah.
I think it's his debut. So,
yeah.
It was a big night for him. It didn't look a very good free kick, but because it didn't go towards the top corner and stuff like that. But
it was an awkward one, though.
It was like a Yorker in cricket terms.
Of course,
It's sort of right on that thing, and it just squirmed out. And throughout some of the awful performances that Wells has put in, he's always sort of he's gambled on things happening. You look at the goal we got at Peterborough.
Yeah.
The one that Clark got. He gambled. He shut the keeper down. So he's continued to do that, and he got his rewards for it. And
that's what sort of we've been missing that a lot of the games this season, where you're thinking just be in the right place, make sure you get there, and we've been a bit indifferent.
Yeah.
And it was good to see him just get on it, tab it in, 2-0. We're done. We're going to win this game quite easily. That's how I felt.
That is what we thought, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, you should never think that when you're watching Luton Town. We get to half time at 2-0, and you're thinking again. This is going to be walk in the park almost. We've been playing well. They haven't really had that many chances, and we come out second half, 53 minutes in, and Nanki gets another goal. It was again supplied by Fanny.
Yeah.
Fanny.
Fanny. Yeah.
Fanny.
Yeah.
Fanny.
It was, but again, a little bit of credit to Fanny for that, because the keeper was sort of advancing and he did chip it over him. Mm-hmm. And yeah, Wells was unmarked and put
You don't
it away.
miss from that, do you? You don't miss from that.
Oh, we could.
I was going to say, we are Luton Town.
But you don't miss from that, surely. And then 3-0, you're thinking, you're sitting back and going, right, let's just enjoy the last bit of this game. We'll see it through.
Yeah.
It's not like we've seen Luton lose from a 3-0 before, is it?
Who would have thought it, eh?
Well,
That was just it was ridiculous, that second half. You thought after going 3-0 up, you thought, Forest Green, their head's going to drop now a little bit more. Like, the game plan's out the window for the second half. And all of a sudden...
it was the opposite,
bang.
wasn't it?
We just fell asleep, didn't I? I think, don't get it wrong, very well done to Forest Green for what they did. But I've got to say, we were terrible. The tempo was non-existent. It was just almost like, we've scored 3 goals. Probably ain't going to score another 3 in the next month. So let's calm down a bit, preserve ourselves. But yeah, I don't know what was going on. It was just manic. What did he say before the podcast started? It was chaotic, wasn't it? It's pure chaos.
Yeah. I'm going to start by saying really well done to Forest Green for that second half, though. And, Savage made a couple of changes and they had a fair amount of pace throughout that team.
Did they brought on 2 players that were key starters, didn't they, as well, which they rested, which is a strange, but not in the end, clearly, but yeah.
No, but they brought them on. They had pace, in a lot of key areas, and they had nothing to lose, and they just played balls out football. And, they weren't scared to pass the ball quickly, and we struggled to cope with it.
Okay, I'm thinking we were a little bit lackluster there because I think we thought we'd won the game.
Yeah.
And,
And it's difficult to pick it up then. Once you've sort of gone down a gear, you cannot just turn it back on.
Yeah.
Never be in the position where you assume it's all done. And you should know that because, Bournemouth away.
Cambridge away.
And Wrexham at home. And you just sit there and go, really? This isn't going to happen again. So they get back in the game. It sort of like went off Mengi, didn't it? And flicked into the goal.
Yeah, it was going to be going into Keely's hands, but yeah, I mean, it's a natural reaction from Mengi. He's trying to clear the ball, he was stretching, and it just changed the angle of, the path of the ball and into the net. And
then you're thinking, hang on, they're on the front foot now. And they were literally on the front foot when they were going for everything. They were technically the better team in the second half. All of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but with pace.
With pace and with purpose, Steve. And that's the point, And at this point you're going, well, don't let them get another one. Don't let them get another one.
And then get caught in behind again. And then Mengi, with the most cynical foul, ever. And there was no attempt. There was no attempt.
I'm not certain. For me, I'm not certain. What are you? Steve's pulling a face here.
He knew
Steve.
what he was doing.
I'm very pull a face when Bataro's talking. it's like a pained expression. No.
He knew what he was doing.
No. I think the striker knew what he was doing, and he cut across his path. I don't think there was an attempt to take him out, but there was absolutely no way that it wasn't a penalty.
But no. Of course, I hear what you're saying. But the only thing is, from Mengi's point of view, that is ridiculous. Why are you getting so tight to your man? He's already beaten you.
Yeah, but the guy cut across him, and it was.
As a striker, you're going to though. Ain't you?
Yeah, no, exactly, and he done exactly the right thing, and he was very direct with it, and I think it drew the foul. I mean, Mengi knew straight away, but I don't think there was an on purpose effort to foul him.
It was more the fact of when he was running. He's already beaten. He's beaten. He's not going to catch him at this point. The striker's already gone across, and he probably tee himself up to shoot. Mengi somehow still running at full pace, pretty much. Right in line on the back of him.
But if he wasn't running at full pace, he'd have a moan at him, wouldn't he?
Well, no, veer off. I mean, because straight away, Dave, when you get that,
but there was no one. There was no one in front of him though. Mengi couldn't just give up because there was no other defender between him and the goal. He
wasn't going to win that ball though.
Well,
I'm not saying he shouldn't have kept running or whatever else. I'm not having a massive pop at him, but I mean, it was him that got caught out originally, was it? I can't remember.
I don't know, but the penalty was the foul was caused by the striker cutting across the line, which was brilliant play. He done really, really well there, and he just forced Mengi to collide with him.
But he was very close. So that's what I'm saying. Steve. I think he knew what he was doing.
penalty.
I think he was going to go, referee's dived or whatever. I'm going to get very close to him. I still think he knew exactly what he was doing personally. But
What you think Mengi knew that he was
I think
fouling
Mengi
him?
knew that he was running at full pace behind him, and there was a chance that the striker was going to slow down. He thought, he could get a dive, get a yellow card or whatever. He took the risk.
I think he's damned if he does and he damned if he doesn't.
Yeah,
I would say I would expect Mengi to chase him in. I would expect him to follow him back.
I didn't sit there, by the way, when it happened, screaming at him or give it the big and whatever. I thought, for Christ's sake, you knew what the striker was going to do. That's all I said. You knew what he was going to do there.
Well, penalty.
But he either scores that or he scores the penalty, so it's the same thing.
Yeah, penalty goes in, 3-2. Now we're thinking, oh my goodness, where's my heart pills? Because I need them. Because I've seen it all before and we weren't, how do you pronounce this guy's name? Dausch. And it happened, I don't even know what to say.
Was it Nigel with the
Mind you,
crappy clearance,
before we got that, we brought on our new striker, didn't we?
Yep.
On the left-hand side.
How do you think? Was you impressed with him?
Look rusty.
Yeah.
You can see he's got a good touch of the ball. There's a couple of times where he sort of took the ball on the volley or laid it off something. You can see that he's got a presence and a touch. But yeah, he's proper rusty.
His first touch was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was sound when he comes in the feet and he's like laying it off or whatever.
But that could be a real slow burner for 5 or 6 weeks, to be honest with you.
The equaliser comes in the 79th minute. It's just what they deserved. Dausch just got in the right place, right time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, poor defending.
Poor defending.
I can just say as well, I'm not going to jump on his back too much. And I think he's been absolutely shocking since he won Player of the Month. Keeley. I thought he was terrible the other day. Absolutely terrible. Again.
In what way?
I mean, he looked erratic. He was making poor decisions. He wasn't coming and collecting the ball. He was rushing out quite a lot. I mean, I think at one point he nearly ran into Mengi as Mengi was clearing the ball.
Yeah, I mean, he has done that from the start of the season, and and when it works, you think that's great.
Yes,
that's good.
yeah.
Good sweep in play. I think
He's a lot of confidence.
I think he's a very sort of attacking keeper, in that regard, and I think he's very confident naturally. But I think he's had a little dent in his confidence.
Yes, that's it.
And if there's a moment's hesitation with those decisions that he's making, then it's a whole different ball game.
And because he's so committed as well, you can see him taking players out as well because he won't pull out of it. He's got that mentality. I mean, look, I respect the mentality. He's still a young kid, realistically, but he needs to calm down a bit because sometimes it's like you're sitting there on the edge and you're like, Christ almighty, mate, come on. But yeah, he was, for me, there was a lot of decisions that in that game that were very wrong. But look,
do you know though?
We'll get there.
So TV companies are going mental at this stage because it's 3-3, and then we could have lost it. Dausch again. Was it back post?
Yeah,
not Dausch. It was someone else.
Oh, that was a sitter, wasn't it?
No, not Dausch was later, but there was one where they cannoned it off the crossbar. Back post.
Mendy.
Mendy, yeah. So it was a powerful header.
Yeah.
He should have scored.
Yep.
He was up there.
Well, it was a bit of an angle.
And then we break.
I think Keeley had it covered, maybe though as well.
Yeah. So they are looking for extra time, and penalties have been brilliant for the television and not so brilliant for us and our heart rates. And then we score a really good goal with Yates and Gideon linking up together.
I like this goal.
Yeah, I did. I thought that was a beautiful layoff from Yates. The pace of it was absolutely perfect, because he sort of drew the guy onto it slightly and then just eased it in its path. And no, it wasn't Mendy. Who was it?
Gideon.
Kadea, he just put it away nice.
And I think talking about touch as well, first touch obviously from Al Hamidi. I think he started on the right hand side or the left hand side. Sorry. I think it came in too many. He laid it back, didn't he, with a first time volley pass.
Yep.
And that's what set it off. But obviously you get a bit of a bit fortune or whatever with the thing. But like I say, you got to create it for yourself. But
So we score in the 92nd minute, and that's the game over as far as I'm concerned. And then Dausch had that absolute glorious chance to equalise.
How was he missed?
Well, I don't know. Maybe a rush of blood, maybe panic, maybe too quick, maybe I don't know. He just didn't catch it right.
Saw his
did he?
name in lights, didn't he? And he thought, "Oh Christ!" He just
So the
panicked.
Pound signs came up, but he just didn't get any sort of connection on it. I mean, you can see how devastated he was.
He was very devastated. Apparently, you know, he was in tears about it because he realised that was a golden chance to 4-4. They go extra time. And probably can win on penalties or can win in extra time.
Yeah.
Well, the momentum was with him, really. I know he scored, but we weren't up to really much. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't great, but yeah. So
it's never easy being a Luton fan, is it?
Oh no, it's a roller coaster. You know, there's hardly ever a boring run of the mill mid-table season. It's always the extremes.
Well, watch us be a crap kick-off time in the FA Cup at Fleetwood. Hope we can get that into the third round and then see if we can get a nice fixture there.
Yeah.
It would be nice. We're not going to win the FA Cup, are we? Let's be honest. So,
you never know.
What? He says as he's pouring his 8th pint.
Second, actually.
Yeah, we'll edit that one out.
Yeah. We're not going to win the FA Cup. But it'd be nice just to pit your wits against
and so you can re-edit
a
again.
better team and just see how Jack Wilshere's team is developing. 53% possession for us, 9 shots. Forest Green had 16 shots, but we both only had 5 on target.
Yeah, a good ratio of shots on target though.
4 of ours went in.
You know, because we've had plenty of times where we've had 19, 20 shots and two have been on target. So I'll take that sort of ratio.
And I do know at the very beginning I said I hate being in round 1. We haven't been in round 1 since 18-19. Not the year.
That's
not
an awful long time ago.
2018-19.
Dave, I know you look old, man.
Yeah, say Dave was there as well. Yeah.
Oh dear. Anyway, it's bring back Darren as quick as possible.
Better host.
3 wins in a row. Jack Wilshere said that in his post-match interview. He said afterwards, he says, the team. How do you feel now? We've got a bit of momentum. We're winning 3 in a row. We haven't done that for a long, long time. Does that make things more positive for you guys?
Does for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to win. It's that winning mentality, like we said last week. Obviously, he alluded to the fact that we need to, even in training, we have to be wanting to win the games. The want to win has to be there. And look, even in the crappy Virtue Trophy, whatever it's called, still need to win.
I think it is actually called the crappy Virtue Trophy.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, just a crappy, but yeah. But look, we just instill that mentality of winning a game of football, and hopefully it will just, because the thing is, we know we've got quality in it. Well, we've got quality in this team, and we know some of the certain players, but you just have to keep winning games, and hopefully, Saturday? We got Saturday. We got
Stockport.
Stockport's a big game,
and they're top of the table at the moment.
Yeah.
And do you know what? Just the mentality of not losing a game of football.
Well, not losing at Stockport would be fabulous, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be. But, I do feel more positive about things, because, it might be coinciding with people coming back, but we're seeing more players in their right position. I'm not going to judge Longvic on his performances, but I certainly do not rate him as a right back.
No.
I don't think he's strong enough or aggressive enough, and it'd be interesting to see if he does get a place central, how his attributes do fare. But so I'm not going to judge him, but we're getting more players back in their right position. There seems to be just little signs. You got Fane improving, and Wells got a couple of goals, okay, and he had a nice setup for Fane. Yates done that lovely setup for Kadir for his goal. I think if Wells and Yates can just calm down and just play their free natural game, I think they will perform better. But I think everyone was so uptight under Bloomfield and what was going on. If a few wins and a different approach from Jack and the coaches, if that just calms everything down and takes away a bit of the stress, and they can just play with a bit more freedom, you can only think that they're going to play better.
And the thing is, obviously, like you say about Naki Wells getting a brace in the FA Cup. Also on Tuesday night, I believe Jerry Yates got a brace, didn't he, as well, in the crappy Virtue Trophy.
He did, and
so look.
But also the other thing is,
to do it in the league, though. That's the main thing.
Yeah, it is. But you take your opportunities while you can, and as I say, it is quite conceivable that layoff from Yates the other night to Gideon, he could have overhit that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
if
of course.
you're uptight and you're anxious about your game, you know, he could have just given that a little punch and it would have been through.
Yeah.
I thought he was nice and controlled. So again, you say if you can just be a little bit freer and they're a bit calmer about things, it can only be good.
And it's nicer to be watching the team with a crowd that's behind the team, you know,
Yeah,
much more than we have
Well,
been.
It's got to be.
Friday.
It's got to be. Yeah, it has to be that way. You know, I mean, the fans don't want it to be bad.
No.
You know, it became that way before Bloomfield, and and there was moments in the end of the championship season where he did put in good performances, but by and large, he didn't have what it takes. The fans certainly don't want Luton to be playing badly.
No, but the thing is, when you've been going and supporting the team and the vitriol from the crowd, it brings you down, brings your match experience down, and rightly so, because we were terrible. I think we've got a little bit better at getting behind them now because we're seeing a change. We're seeing how the team has improved. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, look, of course, it's always going to be different. Obviously, when a new manager comes in, I think someone like obviously Jack Wilshere as well. Obviously, everyone knows the character he's got, and he's very positive. He seems very well grounded. Blah blah blah. And obviously, you've got to give the guy a chance. Whereas, like, obviously, Bloomfield was the same, got given a chance. But I think whereas it didn't work with Bloomfield, and maybe certain interviews and whatever else, it's very samey. I don't see that with Wilshere. I think he's got more. I don't want to be disrespectful to Matt Bloomfield, because I don't dislike the guy, do you know what I mean, and whatever else.
Yeah, no.
But I feel like Wilshere's got a bit more character about him. He's got a bit more, what's the word? His energy is just completely, like,
I
out
think
there. I think people would like his personality a bit more than...
I genuinely think when you listen to him, for someone so young, as a manager,
Yeah.
he speaks really, really well. And I think he speaks well of his team and well of the game.
Yeah, he does, and I'm sure he'll slip into it. But at the moment, he's not just spouting out cliches.
Yeah,
He's not doing that. You know, Bloomfield had some, you know, several statements that he would just sort of keep coming out with. You know, so he's not doing that at the moment. But again, you can't. I can't begin to think how important Chris Powell is to this whole setup.
Massively.
You know, just seeing him sort of when he just walked out for the start of the second half, you know, the way he was talking with Savage, but then he was, you know, talking to the players and that. I just think, you know, he's like a, you know, your godfather, but he's got all the experience, he's got all the respect that he commands. I think he's absolutely essential to what we're trying to achieve.
Well, let's hope we can push on. We ask you guys, after 3 wins in a row, has your confidence boosted with our new management team? Jamie starts this one off. He said, or she, don't know, Jamie, I think we're set up better, players playing their actual positions and returning from injury. However, we're still vulnerable at the back. There is a mental fragility to us, and either they wake up or new players needed in January to change that. Lexi says, no, the teams have not really been of the standard to measure real quality. If anything, the Forest Green result leaves me very nervous. Stockport in good form is a real test.
Yeah.
Anthony says, I'm actually positive you can't turn around 18 to 24 months in 3 weeks, like some expect him to. He talks about improving players. He's trying different setups. We nearly bottled a lead, but we didn't. It was a knockout cup match. People need to be realistic. Rob says, yes, every player in the squad is more than capable of performing well at this level. Looks like we now have the right backroom team that we were lacking.
Yep.
And finally, Chris says, the energy is certainly different and more positive, which is great to see. I think the Forest Green game highlighted that there's lots of work to do as we're still fragile. But getting through that and winning was important. Jack is speaking well and clearly getting things back on track, and we need to keep this little run going. So we need to be undefeated running in this game. And Stockport coming up next. It's going to be a tough game, isn't it? It's going to be a really tough game.
That's the thing, right? So like Lexi said here, right, obviously the team's not really been of a standard, blah, blah, blah. And basically Stockport in good form is a real test. That is the main thing, because the thing is we haven't really played any teams of real quality yet.
No,
I would argue there's no teams of real quality in the division, to be fair.
Yeah.
No, of course, but obviously Stockport are top of the table. Obviously, you know, they're doing really well.
Yeah, I mean, we lost to Bradford, didn't we? And I think that they were pretty strong on the day.
Yeah, we lost
They're
to
still doing
Bradford.
okay, aren't they, as well, yeah. I think like third,
Cardiff.
fourth table, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think much to Cardiff. If we'd have taken our guilty chances, we'd have
But
got
they're
at
up
least
the
a
top
draw.
there, aren't they?
Yeah,
They're
I
up
know.
top there.
I know. I mean, we've said before that there's not a lot of quality in this division. It will be difficult because it will be a real physical battle, and their fans will get behind them. But you know, it's a really good opportunity
To see where we've become, how far we've come.
Yeah, and let's say we were to get, I don't know, a really good draw or a win, you know, that would be a real statement.
Not losing at Stockport would tell me that actually we're improving. Would you agree with that?
Oh, 100%, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, of course. I mean, look, I think Stockport are currently on a run of unbeaten 4, I think 1-3, something like that. So,
So, you know,
it's going to be tough.
but it only takes that little run for us to bump up the table a bit. And that's what we're looking for, right?
Yeah, who did they? It might have been Port Vale. They were on telly about a week, 10 days ago, and they looked quite good up front. They had quite a lot of movement and sort of interplay. So it will be interesting to see how we set up against them.
I mean, to be fair, for me, they've got one of the best midfielders anyway. They've got, obviously, Oliver Norwood, who used to play for Sheffield United
Yeah.
a couple of years ago. Unreal player at League One level. So, yeah, they've obviously got a bit of quality as well. And obviously, they were tipped pre-season as well to, I think, was it playoffs at least?
Dark horses.
So there are no mugs.
Yeah.
What's your prediction then, boys?
1-1.
Yeah, same as that. I'm going for a 1-1 draw as well. Yeah.
Damn.
Darren, what are you saying?
0-0.
Yeah, amuse yourself.
Darren's pretty silly. You tons.
I'll take 1-1 if it's 1-1.
Yeah.
But now you said that, I have to just go one better than that. So I'm going to go. We're going to nick a 1-0. There you
Okay.
go. Whether we do or not, I'll be really happy with 1-1.
Yeah.
If we can nick a 1-0, fantastic. If we don't, we'll see where we lie next time. After that, Rotherham, Barnsley, Huddersfield and Bolton, they come in thick and fast. And in between that and the new year, we've got Fleetwood. So trip to Blackpool.
Yeah. I'm going to say that they're going to really start coming through now, the fixtures, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's the time we love, isn't it?
It's time just to get, like we say every week, just get behind the team and try and start enjoying the game, enjoying how we're playing. And let's hope that come the podcast next Monday, we're all celebrating a massively good result up from Stockport.
Let's hope. Yeah, soap.
I think it's important when it has, because it has been toxic, players have been low in confidence, fans have been on the players' backs, that then the players are scared to sort of, you know, be brave with the ball and you know, sort of gamble and, you know, make that decision. You know, if they're, I said it a few minutes ago, but if they're playing with like a freedom and thinking I'm not going to get my head bitten off if something goes wrong, it just gives the opportunity for them to get things right so much greater. You know, it's only frustration that the fans have been this way, but you know, we've broken that chain now. We've got new manager in, we've got new coaches. There seems to be a buzz building. So if they can play with freedom and just a little bit of belief, I think things will improve.
Before we finish, another, I think, sad thing is the abuse that Tedden got.
So what was that about? I didn't hear it.
Racial abuse. You know.
was it?
Yeah, online racial abuse.
Okay. I did see something happen. I
And
didn't
you
really
know,
think anything of it, but-
online, someone goes on and they make those sort of comments. What are you thinking? You know,
It makes me sick. You know, it really does. You know, Elijah's had it, you know, a few times, and now Ted. I don't care who it is. I don't care what club they play for. It's just bang out of order. These, you know, these poxy keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
You know, just hiding away, thinking they can get away with it.
Probably haven't got a profile picture either.
You know, I mean, I am desperately sad for Ted and that he got subjected to it, and it's just bang out of order. And you know, let's give him even more support, because anyone that is subjected to that. It's just bang out of order.
So I take it was a Forest Green fan, was it?
No.
Oh, it wasn't?
No.
Just at the end of the day,
Jesus.
it was abuse online. If they want to trace it, they will trace it. Hopefully the police
find it,
will.
yeah.
And then you can go from there. Anyway, like you say, Steve, I think we're all behind him. I think that's about wrapping it up for us this evening.
Oh, talking and sorry
Oh,
for the
mate,
go.
maybe not.
I bumped into Elijah yesterday actually in the shop. He's looking pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's looking quite well. So yeah,
What did he buy?
I'm not allowed to say.
Okay.
That's because Batari saw him in Ann Summers.
And yeah.
It was actually
Bloody hell.
bummers.
On that note, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. You haven't already, and I've left it too late to say this, but if you haven't already, like and subscribe on YouTube if you wouldn't mind. If you're listening on Spotify, just pop over to YouTube and give us a like and subscribe.
They're nice stocking, Steve.
And and with that, we'll say thank you again, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks.
See you guys.
Thank you, everyone.